Good morning, everyone. This is Midhat Fatima along with Mahrosh Fatma and Aftab Alam. We are here to present our paper in International Research Symposium on Urban Villages. We would like to thank UVCT, COA, NIUA, and Faculty of Architecture Ekistics for giving us opportunity to present our paper on topic Reshaping Urban Village, a way to sustainable design. Next slide, please. In the introduction part, as mentioned in the figure, we have shown the urban village which has been selected for the case study purpose. The location is in Patna, Bihar, in the Fulwari region. The significance of Fulwari likewise lie in being a significant strict instructive organization and prominently known for the inside madrasas, which plays a huge role in spreading schooling of the unfortunate masses of the locale. The study will attempt to theorize the diverse exchange happening between the urban areas surrounding this village. The paper will aim to explore the existing scenario of this housing typology, socio-culture, and built environment, but it will also come up with some design strategies which will enhance the way of living for the local population. Further, the idea is to understand the issues due to unplanned development of the urban village, which leads to loss of culture and tradition of these areas. Next slide. In the methodology part, the methodology is both quantitative and qualitative study, which is carried out by analyzing demographic data as well as qualitative of their built environment. The quantitative data where population density, number of household, types of resources, and community attached to it for developing a design proposal based on their economic and socio-cultural background. The systematic representation of the settlements through different charts and graphs will carry forward with the explanation of how the village depends on resources for its economic growth. In the case study, the urban village of the Fulwari Sharif, the site context has been discussed. The urban village is surrounded by urban areas where housing typology is based on vernacular architecture style of their socio-cultural background. The urban village area also has a separate marketplace in its residential areas, which makes them self-sufficient to utilize those resources at the time of need. The area is surrounded by vacant greenlands, local trees, farming lands, and water bodies. Whereas the village has a Golambar named Bhagat Singh Golambar, which has a traffic congestion issues. Next slide. Talking about the present scenario of the urban village, in the adjoining figure, the conceptual study of the urban village is provided. The red zone demarcates the Fulwari Sharif urban village. The urban village has a national highway passing through it, which connects Buxar to Patna. The narrow road is branched out from the NH into several residential chunks, and as soon as we move towards the outside of the settlement, the density gets sparse. Several settlement chunks have arisen in this area. Most of them are residential and have a grid pattern. The arterial road holds most of the marketplace along its side. On one side of the sector, the settlement grew haphazardly and does not follow any system. In the Patna master plan, this zone is marked as urban village. Next slide. In the analysis part, we have covered the settlement pattern and the road network. The red area demarcated shows the urban village settlement in the Fulwari region, and the yellow region shows the grid settlement of the certain colonies in the city. And in the figure 4, the road networks has been demarcated. It shows the Fulwari Sharif main Golambar, nodes, arterial roads, sub-arterial roads, branch roads, and semi-branch roads. Next slide. Over to you, Aftab.
If you talk about the housing plan typology, there are two types of units. Basically, housing type resources type situated near the marketplace, and two is the housing typology based on living style situated in residential areas. The new type of residential blocks are generally of G or G structures with minimum provision of natural ventilation. And here the area has been marked. The red one is type 1 and the rest one is type 2. If you here are the type 1 and type 2, basically the difference between those are has been added in the commercial dwelling units. The main difference is that has been shown in the slides. Next, please. Okay. If you talk about the material which has been used in the old dwelling units, these are lumbers, sun-dried bricks, and khapda that has locally that has been called khapda, and mud, and these are the materials that have been used during the old construction. And during we talk about the change during the changes while changing dwelling designs, mud houses are getting replaced by the RCC, and kacha house been changed into pakka houses. The fundamental for the issue of gathering places for for the religious gathering, and this concept is diminishing, which was one aspect of the majority of this settlement. When planned properly, these gathering places can be used and second one is most of the streets are like contrast to areas of the urban villages which have grid pattern. New buildings which has been constructed for higher story lacks proper daylighting and natural ventilation. And streets which formed after the over projection of the buildings on both sides leave the street narrow and gloomy. There is no transition between the marketplace and residential areas. These are the major issues. And also the rainwater is uncontrolled and wash of the sewer through the open drainage. As per the CGW, the groundwater availability is not satisfactory. The self-sustained the locality, the concept of rainwater harvesting needs to be addressed. And the drainage is not properly planned, and it is open, which leads to variety of smell. These are the main issues. And
Now the existing site conditions. Here we can see some of the images of the existing site near Fulbari Sharif. This is the single story structure. This is the building structure, which is almost G plus 3 story building, uh, designed in haphazard manner. And then another image is showing the new construction typology of the area. Then next image is showing the narrow streets. Then this is showing the existing style of dwelling unit. Then rainwater from roof coming directly over the roads. Then open drainage system. Then marketplace in that area. Then vernacular style dwelling unit as shown in this image. Then the open drainage which is moving along the road, and then the open drainage which is crossing the roads. These are the existing site conditions of Fulwari Sharif. Then in conclusion, the main concept is to reshape urban village away to sustainable design. The existing housing settlement, overcrowded population, open drainage system, over encroached areas, and mixed use of residential and market areas turned this area of Fulwari Sharif into an urban village where the people made themselves sufficient to fulfill their daily needs without going of those areas, and these areas shrinks themselves due to multiplied population, rapid urbanization, and economic development of surrounding areas. Through this paper, the author are trying to give design proposal by providing the solution for human settlement and health related issues emerging due to the unplanned development of the village. Incorporating the sustainable design approach within the settlement will lead to creating an example for various other urban village settlements in Bihar. In the case study, which was done in the area of Fulwari Sharif, found that there is only some dwelling unit left with old vernacular style of housing typology. Other dwelling units are compact and have no provision of natural ventilation within the household units, and thus creating an indoor environment more infectious. Further, this is design solution for the issues discussed above are space for social culture gathering and to hold events like jalsas, religious speech, and they are also required as gathering speeches for the residents at the time of festival of different community like Muharram, Holi, Eidgah, etc. The vacant land shown in figure number 8 is not much used for by local people or public, whereas it can be used in future for social culture events. Second point is unorganized street pattern. Most of these streets are not planned as compared to nearby colonies of urban village, which have a grid pattern. Narrow streets should be replaced by wide streets to allow proper movement of public. Third one is new building which can be constructed for higher stories lack proper day lighting and natural ventilation. They are only some dwelling unit with old vernacular style of housing typology with single floor structure. These are have these areas have several issues to deal with them. Or one of them is a new housing typology in which there is no provision of natural ventilation and day lighting, which can cause several health hazard and risk to infections disease. Design proposal for new construction of the dwelling unit is as mentioned in the figure number 9. That is this red one marking the existing layout of the housing unit, and the green one is depicting the proposed layout of the housing unit with proposed staircase location, along with which has the provision of courtyard also, an open drawing area, and the provision of bedroom and toilet, of course. Then fourth one is open drainage system. The rainwater is under controlled and washed off to the sewer through open drainage system. According to CGWB Bihar, the net annual groundwater availability is not satisfactory. So the self-sustain the locality. The concept of rainwater harvesting needs to be addressed. There should be provision of drain channel on every streets, and those streets should be connected to underground recharge pit. As we can show in the image, a section at XX, which can show the road network connecting to the drainage channels. And in the plan, we can see the red line is depicting the drain channels, which is moving along the roads. And the red dot is showing the recharge pit, which is taking the surface water to underground. This is the rainwater harvesting proposal. Then number 5 is there is no transition space in the marketplace and residential area. Random placement of vehicles, fruit, vendors in their carts move freely in these areas, hence this makes the area overcrowded. There should be separate space for vehicle parking, vegetable, fruit vendors, shop areas given by the government or local governing bodies. These areas make them self-sustained for their survival. Therefore, these areas need to be reorganized and cannot be removed. Above all, sustainable is not just a term whereas it's an emotion for a belonging place that should be reshaped instead of reconstructed. In this paper, the case study shows the existing scenario of the area and the social culture background and the emotion of local people living there. In the end, it also gives some design solutions as mentioned above and reshape the urban village area through sustainable approaches, including proposed vernacular style housing unit, material used for construction and provision for rainwater harvesting. Thank you.